So the next topic is for Lana. We'll ask, and then we'll pass the baton and discuss it if we have time. I realize that we're actually moving right along here as far as the clock goes. So Lana, how do you execute this partner leveling, right? So what have you and your team done to sort of level that playing field as to enable everybody as much as possible and tell everyone you love them and not let the other child know that you might love the other child more, so they all feel connected?
Yeah, so as we develop the program in and of itself, one of the things unique to Mitel, and maybe not unique, but a reality of who we are as an organization, is we've grown a lot through acquisition. So one of the critical things for us was having the ability to, through those acquisitions, measure and pull in heritage elements that might be unique across the different partner ecosystem that we have. So, that acquisition, the mergers, that is a level of complexity. Just set aside the complex ecosystem. With that said, one of the things, certainly, Rachel and Kenneth both spoke to the partner experience and ensuring that there's consistency and how do you give and show everybody that love. Having a platform and a way to serve up the partner's performance across the various data sources that we have was really critical. So we have multiple instances of ways that revenue comes in, that we capture monthly recurring revenue, that CapEx is pulled in, and having the ability on the back end to bring that all into a single interface and serve up that information in a single pane of glass, if you will, consistently for our partners around the world has been really critical to just addressing the overall complexities that we have with how we have as a business grown and the uniqueness of our partner ecosystem. The other thing that we do from an execution perspective, and Kenneth touched on this a little bit, we use program points as opposed to a dollar or revenue value, and that gives us a lot of flexibility in addressing the complexities. So as we pull in a different organization, as we have different focus areas, one of the things Kenneth talked about was you have partners that are making that transition, perhaps to MRR. That certainly is an evolution and helping to shift that balance, providing more weight to one area that may be more strategic to us, that may be more critical out in the marketplace with customers. Using points has given us a lot of flexibility in that regard, and having the point value in that single pane of glass view for partners to see that has really been effective. So behind the scenes, just imagine the duck swimming on the water, is like cuddling. Behind the scenes, we have a lot of things that we've pulled together through the complexities that we have internally, and to ensure that we kind of, again, the big easy button, help support overall adoption from our partners and simplicity with them out in the marketplace. Having a single pane of glass view and simplicity in how we execute and measure using points has really helped us with our partner program and just leveling in general.
No, that makes sense. It's I'm sure anybody who is responsible for compensation plans understands that compensation drives behavior, right? And so if you're only focused on dollars, then you only have a few levers to pull. If you focus on points, then you can leverage the points to drive the behavior, to reward and push your initiatives out. Is that the value of the points? Is that the flexibility you're talking on?
Absolutely, it is. One of the things Rachel talked about is just competencies in general. We very strongly believe and have seen our partners that have higher degrees, more individuals trained on our solutions. They are and will perform better. So we actually give extra points once a partner goes above and beyond. So that's just an example of how that works well for us as a business. And just as we have different strategic partnerships and different relationships, we can, to your point, it's not just a dollar isn't just a dollar these days. There's such great value in so many other aspects of the engagement and relationship with a customer and a partner, what a partner's delivering to the customer. It gives us a lot of flexibility, and it's not just that single lever. If all you have is a hammer,
Yes, everything looks like a nail. I have, and oh, by the way, free bonus for everybody that's in HR that is listening today. Compensation really does drive behavior, so just keep that in mind when you're working on your 2023 plans. That's free bonus for all the HR people who joined us on our partner call today. So if I could, Rachel, Are you guys seeing the same things? If I could, in implementing and re-leveling these, do you go through annual re-levelings, and what do you take into account when you're putting those things in?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, we're still in transition for moving from the old program to the new program. So partners, not only are they trying to learn and understand the new program, they're trying to figure out where they fit. You know, if they were silver in the old one, are they still silver in the new one, right? Based on, you know, or the new levels, whatever we name them. I think, you know, you touched on something, Lana, that was, you know, keeping things simple is not easy. Like it's very complex on the back end to keep it simple on the front end. And Kenneth knows this from all the integration conversations we've had, right? We want to be able to consolidate the experience and make it really, really simple. And it's not always easy. You know, we sometimes, you know, are going to have those extra clicks or the extra step or the extra screen just because we're trying to build that flexibility into it. I think that the biggest challenge that we found is really narrowing down. You know, there's what, 34 different industries according to Dun & Bradstreet or whatever it is, you know, in the United States. So do we give points for all of them? Do we pick our top 5? Like, how do we go about determining what it is that we're going to reward for? And that planning, that deliberate, really fine tuning those details, understanding, first of all, understanding how our current operations worked or didn't work, you know, what we can improve on. So there was a whole benefit of efficiency that we got through this process and a lot of learning that happened. But the other thing is really understanding for our partners, you know, yeah, there's 34 different industries and you might work that there's equal value in somebody who's horizontal as there is in somebody who's deep. And the revenue numbers don't show that, right? So if we've got a horizontal player that is like a rock star, they can go cross industry, they can do whatever that is they need to do with our product. You know, they've got that skill set. They could have 10 people, 20 people trained on our product. There's equally somebody who's a very niche player who also has 10 or 20 people trained, who goes super deep in a given vertical. We want to make sure that we're rewarding partners for the way they go to market and the way that they do business. And so how do you then simplify that? And I think, you know, through the leveling, through the dashboarding, the points, the competencies, all of what we've been talking about for the last 40 minutes, all of that comes together in that really simple single pane of glass, and it helps our partners and our customers understand where the value is. But there's no shortage of complex channel decisions that have to be made as you're building and designing, but I would say spend 20% more time up front. It'll make it so much easier on the back end.
Thank you so much for that, Rachel. And that's a perfect segue into our last topic, which is actually a question that starts with you. But before we jump that, we have one last poll question, I believe, Brenda. So if we could put that up.
Okay, thanks, JD. So this one is for the people who are out there and doing it at the moment, and I suppose it's your opportunity to vent a little bit and to see if other people feel your pain as well. So what were the most challenging aspects of implementing your partner leveling program? And it's a multiple choice, so please select any that you feel are relevant. So was it defining program requirements, allowing for regional differences, catering for all the different partner types, the execution of the program, or partner understanding of your program? So I suppose that would be kind of educating the partner. So yeah, we're getting a lot of people voting on this one. So yeah, a lot of people have a little bit of pain, I think, with this. So I'm going to give it another couple of seconds. And again, we have a number of questions that have come in for the panel, so we will be getting to them very shortly. So please keep them coming. Okay, and I'm going to close that off now and give it back to you there, JD.